Informational,
fun,
timely,
relevant.
That's what people are saying about A to Z in real estate. 30 minutes packed with great info for home sellers, buyers, and investors. And now let's welcome your host, Lizzie Cohen.
Good morning and welcome to A to Z in Real Estate. Coming at you Saturday morning. Appreciate all the listeners out in Cleveland. Again, a special thanks to Coldwell banker Kinard Realty helping support this venture. We've also got a support from Title Insurance of Cleveland right here next to the radio station. Stop in and say hi to Jason if you need some title work needs. Lizzie Cohen is out today on an assignment, so I had to scrounge up an extra co-host. So Keith Nitsch is with me today.
Good morning, Cleveland. Good morning.
Keith, it's a crazy market, here on Saturday morning. What are you seeing out there in the real estate market?
I'm seeing record prices. I'm seeing a lot of houses move. I'm even seeing people go to turn to land.
Yeah, well, it's the next best thing. Yeah, it's funny. We did our stats for the first 6 months of the year, and thanks to the Cleveland market and everybody that supported us, we're 17% over last year, which was a record over the year before. So this thing just keeps going. But we are seeing people turn to alternatives in real estate, and some of the people are looking into land. So I brought you on the show because your last 4 listings I noticed on the board were all land. Tell me what's going on.
Yes, I sell land, commercial land, residential land, anything that's wooded, dirted. I sell it all.
Right. So somebody calls us up, ring. They look at some houses, they can't find one. And they decide to buy a piece of property that maybe they're going to build, right? And there's a little bit of a process that goes along with that, right?
A little bit.
So tell me, maybe what do you need to know if you're buying some land here in Tennessee? What are some of the key points?
Well, some key points to definitely know when you're out there shopping, looking at land. If you can, take the time to go and look physically. Go to the property and walk it. Check, see if you can find the 4 corners. If you have a knowledgeable real estate agent, bring them with you. If they have a copy of a survey or a plat, you want to be able to see what's there, see how the land lays, see if there's any adverse things that you're going to need to know about, big holes, big rocks, maybe if there's a creek on it, where the floodplains are. You're going to want to see all that in person.
Right. And a real estate professional, they're going to help, people with things like soil maps and, different things that you can do on property. Not everybody's just buying land to build a house on. You sell acreage too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So little bit different, purposes, when somebody goes and says they want to buy 10 acres, they want to start a farm, or 15 acres, things like that. Have you ever run into maybe easements or restrictions on a piece of land that kind of got a little hairy, after they looked at it?
Oh yes, and especially if the parcel was just hunting land or recreational land. If you had 50 acres that was just for hunting, and then you want to go ahead and put a house on it, there might be some deed restrictions from the previous owners that said, hey, no mobile homes are allowed in here. So you're going to want to know those restrictions and what you're getting into before you go ahead and sign on the dotted line.
Right. So how would somebody find out about those restrictions? We're calling them deed restrictions. Where would you start?
Well, your favorite agent. I'll know. But you can call any title examiner. You can go down to the courthouse and pull the deed restrictions for anywhere in Tennessee. If it's recorded, it'll be in there. And that's a great place to start. Right.
And what kind of deed restrictions have you seen? I mean, what would scare somebody away, maybe from a large parcel?
If you can't cut it up, that's been a big thing,
No subdividing?
Yeah, if you can't subdivide it, if you got 30-something acres and you can only cut it once, or none at all, that might affect your resale, especially if you're not going to use it all. If you're going to want to cut it a couple times.
Right.
That can be problematic.
And one thing I see is a lot of people copied somebody else's restrictions. So, they went down this list of like 11 things. They're pretty common. No single wide mobile homes, no swine. It's kind of goofy, when we read them, 50 years later.
Yes.
Of the property. And, so it's definitely something we want to look at and be aware of, because, that is really important. Now, we think, it's land, we own it, we can do whatever we want, but that's not always the case.
Not
right?
all the time.
Right. And so we're looking at land. They call you up, they say, Keith, I want to find 10 acres. What counties do you work in? How far out would you go looking for somebody?
I service the 6 counties, so North Hamilton, all the way to South Monroe County, Polk County, Meigs County, McMinn County, Bradley County, the whole mix.
Right. So that's a huge area, and there's a lot of things that come up. There's a lot of things that we've learned over the years.
Yeah, people like being close to the river.
Right.
They like being close to the water's edge. Out in Polk County, the Ocoee, that's a beautiful spot.
The views, the mountain
Yeah,
views.
some people want to be in McMinn County where they can see the mountain ridge. There's some beautiful stuff. If you like low land, pasture land, want to be close to Hiawassee, Meigs County is a great place for you.
Yeah, and we cover all that, so it's interesting, when people start to look. And, just like a house, they still need to pre-qualify, right, if they're not paying cash. And, through doing a lot of land, there's a couple lenders that are better at it, right?
Oh, yes.
There's some credit unions that are real competitive. So, we try to, give out our resources. Here's a list of people that have financed in the past. And, we want to get you the best deal for it that you can. I remember just 2 years ago selling a large piece of land, and these people were really well qualified, big down payment, and the bank required 30% down. Interest rate was, I thought, absorbent. It was very high. And that was the only way they would do it. During COVID, they were a little bit afraid. They thought the world was coming to an end, so they had raised their rates a little bit. But now it's super competitive. I've seen companies out there with some very attractive land financing.
Oh, yes.
And they make it easy, right? So are you having any problems getting people financed for land?
Not right now. They're pretty competitive. They want that business, and especially if you're going to go build a home, there are a lot of packages where you can roll the price of that home in with the land, and that really makes it easy. There's one-time closes,
right,
or just a couple. After you close on the land, you might have to just update a couple documents to close on the house. Once it's completed, those little details like that really make a big difference. When you're going through the process of building a house and buying a tract of land all together at the same time. Having 2 separate closings really makes it complicated, but having a good lender on your side that can make it seamless, one-time close, really is going to take a lot off your shoulders.
Right. So we drive out, we find a piece of property, we think it's the one, and we're gonna write an offer on it. Tell me a little bit about due diligence periods. How long should I put in there to get my ducks in a row, so to speak, and what would that be? What would it look like?
So as soon as you start going and looking at land, you're going to want to talk to the people that you're going to need to. So you're going to want to talk to a soil scientist. Have somebody already lined up. When you're shopping, you should already have your soil scientist picked out. If you're going to get a survey or you're going to need a survey, if the seller does not have a current survey, you're going to need a survey. So I would have your surveyor picked out too. Have those things picked out so when you do have your spot and you're in your due diligence period, you can call them up and say, hey, I need that perk test done. I have 45 days, 60 days to get this done, and put them on the schedule and get you in. That way you're not asking for extensions or pushing your timeline out.
So a minimum, I would ask for 60 days.
Right? Oh yeah, 60 days at least.
Right,
and that's if you're ready.
If you have everybody lined up. And again, when we talk about a soil scientist, that is for the compatibility for a septic system, right?
Correct. It's absorption rate of that soil for your perk,
right,
for your perk test.
Right, because when we get out, a little bit further out of town, there's no sewer lines, and that's how we have to manage, the waste coming out of the property. So. I've seen septic systems quoted anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000. I don't know if you've seen different prices on that.
Yeah, they're pretty ranging. It really depends on how long your field line needs to be,
right,
exactly where you're going to put your house, what kind of soil you have.
Based on bedrooms, right?
Yep, based on bedrooms, where the runoff is going to go. If you have a creek on the property, Tennessee, we have a beautiful state. We want to keep it beautiful. So, the septic system might have to be a little bit further away from that creek. So, we want to keep it nice and clean.
Right. Yeah, and that's, that's just common stuff, and I try not to gloss over it, for the average person that doesn't know of all these terms. Let's go back to the survey. So you're saying that, we should get a survey on the property. How come? What's important there?
You need a survey for a couple reasons. For one, it's great to know exactly where your property ends and the neighbors start. That is a big thing.
Right.
Second thing is you're going to want title insurance on your property. And if you don't know exactly where your property is, you can't get title insurance on it. So having title insurance is a great thing to have.
Right.
And you're going to want that. So you need to know exactly what is yours and what isn't yours.
Right. So a lot of times we reach out to the title company before we even write that contract and kind of see what's been recorded against it.
Right.
And if there's a recorded survey, we can start there, and then we'll circle back. But that's the one thing that you do see is there's a big survey exception if there's no survey. So they're saying, yeah, you got title insurance. We guarantee this deed looks correct and the taxes are paid, but we can't say anything to the boundaries without that survey. And one of the things that I found interesting when a surveyor comes in the state of Tennessee, they're reaching out to those people on the other side too, saying, hey, I'm doing a survey on this property. Do you have any disputes with this line to this line? And we've had some vary because of fences that have been there over 20 years.
Yeah, old fences will get you.
Every time, every time. So it's super important. I know there's some great surveyors in Cleveland. We've run into, a lot of them. They're super busy. If you see a surveyor, and he's out getting a cup of coffee, hug him because he's probably one of the busier guys right now. And it's probably rare that he gets to see his family. So, but I just, very strongly support, getting a survey on any of those, any project that you're working on. So what are some of the other things that you're seeing maybe in this competitive market in the land realm? That's a little different than residential. What would you would you guide somebody on?
I'm seeing a lot of people making their land pad ready, so instead of just putting a for sale sign on a bunch of trees, they'll go in, clean up the property, at least make the road frontage look nice, clean back some of the brush and briars, clear out some of the trees, maybe if you have some dead rotten ones that have fallen, just clean up the property, make it look good where a buyer can come and walk and see how the land lays and picture their home on that property, exactly where they're going to put the garage, where would they going to put the little gazebo, what are they going to do with the property.
Right. And so the other side of that, if I have some land and I want to sell it, and you're coming out to do an evaluation on it, sure, we're going to do a market analysis. We're going to look historically at what land's selling for per acre. What do you do to prepare for that? You're coming out to meet with me. I'm selling 10 acres. What would you do to get ready for that appointment?
I would tell you, I'd go through, walk it, make sure that I know what I'm talking about before I meet you.
Right.
That way I can actually, give you good guidance. If you do need to clear up some of the brush or whatnot, I can tell you, hey, let's clear a path so you can walk in on this property. It's going to be really hard to cut through all those briars. If I have a prospect, maybe I got a woman who's looking to buy that doesn't want to cut up her legs. You're going to want to go in there, make a nice path for anybody that wants to go and check it out.
Right. And, it's important to do all that. A lot of people will do a market analysis on land from their desk, and that's what I'm kind of getting at. You really have to go out there and see it. Does it lie low? Does it go up? Is there a view? Is there not a view? What kind of soils are we talking about? So there's a lot more in it, so I always say, get somebody that specializes in it. I interviewed for a 28-acre piece, and I made my presentation. The people were blown away, at how much, details we went through to just meet with them and talk to them about their land. They've owned it for 50 years. They thought they knew everything. But, we're going through zoning. We're talking, city planning. We're talking about, industrial boards. So there's a lot more involved in it, than just, looking at it.
You can't sell it if you haven't been there.
Right. So, and I know in the second part of the show, we're going to talk about some of your listings and some of the things that are current right now. If somebody wanted to buy it, it's available, and we'll go over those in detail. So we're going to go ahead and take a little break right now, and we'll be right back. Thank you.
Nancy Collins is a branch manager at Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation. Her goal is to help you find the right financing options to fit your unique needs. Contact her today at 706-280-9763 to learn more. Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, NMLS number 2289, is an equal housing opportunity lender. LO NMLS number 195344. This is not an offer to enter into an agreement. Not all customers will qualify. Georgia Resident Mortgage Licensee number 21158. Branch location 307 West Emory Street, Unit C, Dalton, Georgia 30720.
Coldwell Banker Kinard Realty, serving the local real estate needs since 1974, offering residential, commercial, and land purchase. The market keeps hitting new highs and inventory is low. Maybe it's time to check what your current market value is. Talk to the professionals at Coldwell Banker Kinard. Let them guide you on your next move. Coldwell Banker Kinard, we never stop moving. Leave your mark on the world of real estate. Call them at 423-476-5532. Located 2650 Peerless Road, Northwest.
Welcome back to A to Z in Real Estate. Shawn Matthews here with Keith Nitsch, Coldwell Banker Kinard Realty.
Happy Saturday.
If you guys want to check out our mugs, be sure to look at us on our Facebook page, A to Z in Real Estate. Like us, send some comments. Let us know what you want to hear from us in the next couple shows. We try to keep it informational for sure. And Keith, I appreciate you stepping in for Lizzie. She's out in the field today, so I hope she's not getting any ticks,
Let's hope not.
hiking through any properties. We were going to talk about some of your listings, and the one, I think it was County Road 651. I know you've got 154 acres listed out there, and that's amazing. I think that's listed at 3,700 and some change per acre. That is amazing. Tell me a little bit about that listing.
It's a beautiful tract of land. It's got nice small road frontage, so it's pretty private. You go back up there, it's got beautiful views of the mountains. It's got some full-time water. It's got some part-time water. Nice good trees in the back. It's got about 65 acres, fresh pine that's been planted about 6-7 years ago. So the new owners of this property are going to have some money in trees in a couple of years. It's a beautiful place. I definitely recommend taking a look at it if you're looking for a large tract of land.
And the asking price is how much on that?
Asking price is $575,000.
$575,000.
It's priced $3,700.33 an acre. So
that's 154 acres. So a lot of people they want to know about these big tracts of land, and they're harder and harder to find right now. I think the biggest one I've sold so far was 96 acres, and I've sold an 82. What have you sold?
The biggest one to date has been 151 acres. So
wow, this will break your record.
Yeah, I'm just pushing it. If anybody's got something bigger to sell, call me.
Yeah, and that's in Athens, Tennessee. And again, we market land a little bit different. So we're hustling with the banks and the people that are looking for stuff like this. It's always fun to go out there. And you said they've also had that brush cut, and there's roads, so you can actually drive a truck through there and see most of this. That's really rare, on a big track like that. So, that could be a very, very neat development. So
it's got trails throughout it. They've been using it the last 10, 15 years as hunting land. So it's got some tree stand spots set up, and it's got trails that go all throughout there. It's really a nice piece.
Very cool. Now, I know you've got another one, 46-acre tract on Lehman Road. That's Athens as well?
That is in Athens, yes.
Okay. And I know when I was looking that one up, it's zoned R2, so you can do some different things with R2 versus A1. So what could somebody do with R2 property?
You can. R2 property, that would be a great place for a subdivision. Some single-family homes can go in there, or you can even do multifamily or a blend of the two. You can use a portion of that, have apartment complexes and a subdivision. Multifamily is a real good thing right now. People need houses and places to stay.
Right.
So if you're a developer and you're into some multifamily units, it'd be a great place to build your plans.
So 46 acres, how much is that property listed at?
That price is $849,000.
$849,000. That just seems cheap for 46, acres R2. And I say that because I work from Hamilton County up to Monroe County, and I'm doing a 20-acre piece in Hamilton County, and it's $1 million,
Yeah.
so it's $50,000 an acre, and people were beating their brains out to get that property because it was zoned R3, and they're going to put 231 apartments on it. And it's exciting to see that side of it. Not everybody's qualified to do that.
Yeah.
And at Coldwell Banker Kinard Realty, I love to train you guys if you're interested in it. And you've got the bug, about land and development. Welcome. Come on, let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's have a sit down.
Yeah, let's have a sit down. But it's real, interesting if you're passionate about what you do. And I know you are, because you've helped me for 5 years now. If I have to find corners of a property, or I've got to go put a sign up in a weird place, Keith, you're the first guy I call, and you're excited because you want to look at it.
I know. I just want to see. Let's see what you're doing. What are you working on?
What do you have available? And it's refreshing because 33 years in the business. I jump out of bed in the morning. I'm excited to do this, and every day is a new opportunity, right?
It is.
So that's how we share in these things. Because I'm like, you got 154 acres. You say, let's go look at it. I'm like, I can't buy it, but I want to.
Let's
see
go
it.
check it out.
So we're passionate about it. We've got all these people migrating to Tennessee. You hear about these heat waves out west and fires, and it's beautiful
Yeah,
here.
and
we've got
it's
unlimited water. The soil's great.
It's hard not to get excited. You got
Yeah.
a quaint town like Athens, Tennessee, halfway between Chattanooga and Knoxville.
Yeah.
Growing place. I mean, that's where people want to be at.
Right. And right here in Cleveland, we get so many people that, hey, they're ready to kind of, go look at that bigger chunk of land, or, buy some acreage. So it is interesting. So on the other side of it, let's talk a little bit about some commercial land. So you're saying you've got a piece on Decatur Pike, right? How many acres is that piece?
That is 32 acres.
Okay. And what's that zoning on that one?
That is B3, so that is a commercial zoning.
Right. And so what does 32 acres on Decatur Pike go for?
That's a little over $1 million
Okay.
right there. It's a high traffic count. You're right off the interstate, literally not even a minute from the interstate at exit 49. Beautiful place. I mean, they're willing to cut that up if you wanted to subdivide it and do just a portion of it. They're willing to sell just a portion of it. The owners of that, they're even willing to build a suit. So they're flexible on it. If there's something that you're interested in, or you have an idea and you want to slide it our way, we will look at all offers.
Yeah, and that's great when you have people that are educated enough to know that, hey, 32 acres might be too big of a bite for the average guy, and so there we go. We call up that surveyor. We do a little subdivision. We cut it up into maybe 5-6 tracts. This B3 property. We go through the planning commission. We get that subdivision approved, and then we look at recording that survey, getting the new parcel ID numbers, working with zoning, bringing the roads in, connecting to sewer. So there's a lot of legwork that we do. We don't charge for that, right?
No, that's stuff we do up front. Yeah.
That's part of. So we're,
we're full service here.
Full service, and I just, I can't emphasize that enough. I helped, people rezone a couple properties. And they said, you'll help with that? I said, it's your application. I can be the presenter, but I've done it before. I'm confident. Here's what we have to provide, and we make these pitches. And these guys are our friends. The planning commission people. The folks that we have to talk to. So we reach out to them. When you have this many properties in McMinn County, you're probably up there a lot. Talking to the zoning people. So it's interesting, how it all comes together, but that's exciting. So $1,050,000 for 32 acres, Decatur Pike B3. So if somebody's looking to relocate, like a Amazon, that's enough acreage for it.
Yeah, you can do something
for a facility like that. So, again, we love to talk to businesses coming into town that are relocating. We talked to somebody in the metal fabricating business the other day. They were looking for 10 acres industrial. It's just cool, we get to do all this stuff on the daily, that we're seeing. So Keith, how can somebody get a hold of you if they got a piece of land, they're chomping to buy a piece of land? What's the best way to reach you?
Best way to reach me, and even if you just want to use me as a resource, you got a question about some land, a friend of yours has got some land, whatever the story is, you can reach me on my cell phone. It's 423-715-8116, or you can look me up on Facebook and shoot me a Facebook Messenger.
Yeah. So, again, Coldwell Banker, Kinard Realty, we're at 2650 Peerless Road. We've been here, for 35 years. We're a destination. I really love the reach that we have with our 5 offices. We're really strong in North Georgia as well as, Cleveland, Tennessee. I've got agents that cover the Chattanooga market, just like you said, swinging all the way up to Monroe County. There's really very few people that we can't help. And with our referral network, we're worldwide.
We really are. We have laser-focused agents, so if you really have something that needs to get done, give us a call.
Yeah. So the office number is 423-476-5532. Again, we're at 2650 Peerless Road. Stop in, let us know how we can help. You bring up a point, there's a lot of training that goes in with that. You didn't learn this overnight.
No, this ain't my first day.
But we have people that just started, right? We've got brand new agents. We've got interns that are, coming from college and they're thinking about real estate. So we're constantly, bringing these people in, and saying, here's how it looks. Here's how a transaction looks. Here's how a presentation looks. So again, if somebody's thinking about getting into real estate and they want to get trained with, I think, one of the best systems that we have, because we've got a personal agent development coordinator, Brandon Odell. We've had him on the show. Myself, I've got 33 years experience, but super collaborative office. We had a newer agent writing a contract yesterday, and like 5 people helped her, and she got her deal through.
She was shocked.
She was shocked. She got her deal
through.
She was shocked. And because it was well written, it was well thought out. Everybody kind of gave her the input, so it was exciting to see that. And as the broker manager of the office, I'm tickled.
If you want to have some fun, come by the office. Just pick up our vibe. Come by and have a good time. Feel our energy. We're constantly positive energy all the way around.
Yeah. But again, if you're thinking about buying some land, just a quick recap, try to walk it. Get with a real estate professional that knows about land, that's educated in it. Of course, ask about those easements and restrictions. Don't buy without a survey. It's just a no-no.
Wear bug spray and bring water.
Bring water.
Bring water.
Build in those due diligence clauses, in your contract. And, if we've gone too fast on any of this, we're always available. Keith Nitsch, Shawn Matthews, Coldwell Banker, Kinard Realty, we're here to help. And one more time, Keith, give your cell phone number. How do they get a hold of you?
423-715-8116.
All right. Then a shout out. My dad came down to visit from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And he drove down, and we came through Nashville, into Tennessee. He's never seen that view, come down Mount Eagle, over, Nickajack.
Nice.
And he's like, this is a really beautiful place. I'm like, no kidding, Dad. That's why I live here. So it just kept getting better and better. And when I dropped him at my sister's house in Benton, he was pretty impressed with our area. So, we're one at a time. We're showing people, what we have.
I can't wait to meet him.
So again, thank you. We're running out of time here, but
you guys have a rockin' Sunday.
A to Z in real estate. Check us out on Facebook. Thank you.
Nancy Collins is a branch manager at Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation. Her goal is to help you find the right financing options to fit your unique needs. Contact her today at 706-280-9763 to learn more. Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, NMLS number 2289, is an equal housing opportunity lender. LO NMLS number 195344. This is not an offer to enter into an agreement. Not all customers will qualify. Georgia Resident Mortgage Licensee number 21158. Branch location 307 West Emory Street, Unit C, Dalton, Georgia 30720.
Have you seen the new Coldwell Banker North Star signs? Coldwell Banker Kinard Realty has been serving the East Tennessee and North Georgia area since 1974, with 5 offices in Cleveland, Tennessee, Dalton, Ringgold, Cartersville, and Calhoun, Georgia. With the latest technology, CBKR's 145 licensed agents are ready to serve all your real estate needs. Call today, 423-476-5532. They offer residential, commercial, and land and property management. Call and speak to one of their licensed professionals today.